Hello everyone, this is Bruno from Bruno Fun with Data, and today we are going to take a look on how to work with weather analysis data, more specifically the weather data that I taught on another video how to get using Python from some APIs. It was OpenWeather and WeatherBit APIs. And we are going to use this data on Tableau. So we are going to use the free version of Tableau. It's called Tableau Public. And well, since my code is storing this data into a Microsoft SQL database, Tableau Public doesn't have a connector to that sort of database. So you have a couple of options to bypass that. The first one, let's go to our SQL database. You can run the query. So you don't need to order it. I just like it ordered so I can see it day by day. So you can save this result somewhere as a CSV. And then you would transform the data as we talked on the other video. Everything in here is varchar. You would transform that data inside Tableau. But today I'm going to show you how I am doing it. And I have a copy of this data source. I already have another dashboard on my Tableau Public. We'll talk about that one as well. So today I am going to use Excel. I will always provide you guys with a free option as much as possible. I don't want anything paid or any paid versions on this channel. I want everyone to have access to the tools I'm using. So let's go. In Excel, we are going to get this data from database, from a SQL Server database. So let's get my server name. It's going to ask me for the server name. Okay, we can get this from here. You click on Connect, Object Explorer. Server name is right there. I like to copy and paste to prevent typos. And we need our database name as well. So let's go get that. Databases, weather station, rename, copy, paste. There we go. So we have our table in here, weather. As we did on the Power BI video, we are going to transform this data. So all the number fields, we are going to click on this ABC symbol and change it to decimal number. So radiation, UV index, visualization. Description is a text, so we leave it as is. Wind speed, sunrise and sunset we're not going to use right now. Precipitation, city and country, it's a text, so we don't need to do anything about it. Pressure, feels like, decimal number. So, okay, then you click on close and load. And there you have it, your data straight out of the SQL Server connection. Now, I'm not going to save this one because I have an older one, a copy of the one that I used to prepare this lesson and to build my online dashboard. And I want to show what happens, how to refresh older data using Excel and Tableau. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to our Tableau Public. So I'm going to close this. I'm not going to save it this time. I have it right here on this folder, Weather Station Tableau. So, okay, so we have our Tableau Public opened right here. And let's add our data source. So we go here to a file, Microsoft Excel. We get the same location that I shared with you guys. And it's going to load. You can see that if you want to change the data type, if you are getting from a CSV, that's where you would do it. And one difference that we can see in Tableau is that you have dimensions and measures on different colors. So let's get started with a simple line chart. Date and time, I don't want year, I don't want quarter, I want month and day. Since I started, I only have a couple of months worth of data. So what we are going to add here is the measure values for the rows. Okay, and now we are going to select the ones that we do want. So let's remove everything that we don't want. You press Control and you keep selecting the ones that you don't want. I only want temperature. So with select, I selected all that I don't want. I hit delete. Okay, I'm left only with the ones that I do want. So let's change the attribute to average on all of them. Average. But it's kind of messy because everything is at using the same color. Fear not. You can go here on the marks, select color for measure names. That's nice. Now we have every one of them using a different color. There we go. Okay, so another thing that I like to do is add the labels. So let's show the mark labels, but if we do it like this, it's kind of messy. So let's just use the minimum and maximum. So we can see that it's using the minimum and maximum for feels like. Let's put it to temperature. Okay. So now let's add all those ones in here as labels. Label. So I don't want the sum, I want the average temperature. And let's add it here, the label, so allow labels to overlap marks. We don't want that. And okay, let's add then our temperature. We already added feels like. I want it as a label and I want the average. And let's add the wind speed also as an average. There we go. So we can see that on one of the days where we had a lower temperature and it was very close, the fuse light was actually greater than temperature. And the wind speed was very low. And on one day where we had strong winds, the difference was very insignificant. So it's showing us that it's not the answer to our question, does wind speed affect the weather sensation, would be a no. So another thing to do here would be rename. And so let's rename this one to line of line chart of temper, temper temperature, weather sensation, and wind speeds. And it already updates here. So let's make this bold, the sheet name as bold, and let's centralize it, apply. Okay, it's already starting to look better, right? Okay, that's good, good, good. Now let's build another one. Let's do the scatter plot. Yeah, let's do that. So date time. So on this one, I want only days. Remove, remove. I don't want the month. Remove. So let's add the temperature as an average. And let's add the feels-like as an average. You can see that it's already a scatter plot, but it's not exactly what we wanted, right? So what we need to do in here to generate a good scatter plot is simply move the day in here. So we can see that there is a strong correlation between, let's add the trend line. There we go. Since the trend line is positive, we can see that there is a strong correlation between feels like and between the temperature. And let's rename the sheet as well. Rename scatter plot of temperature and weather sensation. Let's use an X here. X weather sensation. Let's centralize both. Okay, I think it's better if we leave it to the left, right? Yep, I like it better in here. So now let's use average temperature against wind speed. So what we do here is we duplicate and then we remove the average feels like and we do the wind speed in here instead. And we want the average. You can see that there's little to no correlation. Let's add labels as well. Label, show mark labels. Okay. And on this one, the same thing. Labels, show mark labels. So you can see that there is no correlation. I suspect that it's because we are using completely different measures for temperature, Celsius versus wind speed in kilometers or meters per second or kilometers per hour. So it wouldn't generate as much of a relationship, a valid relationship. And you can see another thing from Tableau that's different um, on your trend line. You already get the R squared and the P value. So the R squared, the bigger the better. The p-value is for your new hypothesis. We can talk about those ones on another video, but if you want to drill down into as much detail as you can, you already have those values laid out for you. So let's do now feels like versus wind speed. So let's duplicate. Oh, we need to rename this one, right? Name feels like versus wind speed. Okay, now let's duplicate this one. So right now what we are going to do, we are going to remove our temperature and put feels like right in here. And you can see there is actually a negative correlation. So let's change it to average. Still negative to no, I would say no correlation from the direction that this line is following right there in the middle, very similar to this one, more on a positive, but in the middle. So I would say the answer to our main question, does wind speed affect the weather sensation, would be a major no. So let's rename it to weather sensation versus wind speed. Remove the two. There we go, looking prettier already. So let's do a table with all the temperatures and the feels like and the wind speed. So let's create a new one. So for this one, we are going to do a simple table. So we want the date and time in the rows. Year, quarter, remove, remove. We want month, May and June, and day. Okay, there we have all of the days. The columns, we want the measure names. So let's start adding the measures that we want. We want fusel-like, we want temperature before fusel-like, and all of them we want as average, average, and wind speed, wind speed. So let's do the average. It selected the line, but if we click right here, so there we go. And let's add some color to it. It's not the way I wanted. I wanted like so. Okay. So if you want a color to highlight, I want it highlighted by temperature. So let's add the color and let's choose our color scheme. So I want green to gold. Apply. So I think reversed it would look better. Yep. Let's try a different one. Let's try temperature diverging. Apply. There we go. And we don't need to use so reversed maybe? No, then let's use the full color range perhaps. Apply. There we go. Think reversed. No, I don't want it reversed. Most definitely I don't want it reversed. So let's see. Yep, the greater temperatures are in gold. Let's see what happens on reversed if we are looking right here at this 28. Oh, it's because it's some temperature diffuse. Let's change it to average. Okay, there we have it. Added colors, temperature diverging, and use full color range. Apply. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So the closest to red would be the greater temperature, and the closest to green would be the smallest temperature, the colder days, and the warmer days would be in red. Now it's looking way better. Okay, and another thing that I wanted to add, so let's change this one to weather table. Rename weather table. There we go. Weather table. Looking good already. So another one that I wanted to do is to show you a filter for the current temperature. So let me try and nail this one on the first try. So let's go to worksheet, analysis, create calculated field. So let's add last, oops, let's search last, okay, equals 0, okay. Oh, we need to give it a name. So let's use current temperature. The calculation is valid. I was worried that the calculation was invalid, but it was the lack of a name for it. So, okay, we can see here current temperature. So let's add the daytime. Now for this one, whoops, I only want the hour. So another way to do that is to go in here and go all the way to more hour. And let's remove the year. Remove. And on the rows, we put current temperature. Okay. So let's change this one to, let's put the filters. Current temperature, true. Apply. There we go. And what I want here is to show this one as a label. And nope. So I want the temperature in here as a label. So this one we can leave as a color, and let's remove completely this one and add this one as, there we go. So we don't want this header in here. Show header. Okay. And then we rename this one to current temp temperature. Okay, let's make it smaller, perhaps 10. Apply. Yep, looks better already. Apply. I think even smaller would. Okay. Now with that, oh, another one that I wanted to show you guys is how to build a dashboard. So on Tableau, we can build a dashboard by clicking on New Dashboard, and you can see here. Let's adjust the default. Nope, fit all. There we go. Dashboard, how do I change this one to fit all? Range, fixed size, automatic, there we go. So let's remove this desktop that I added. So we can add here the line chart. Let's add a scatter plot in here. So this is how you add, let's add the current temperature. So let's add in here an image. Let's add an image. Choose a thermometer. Okay. Fit image. Current temperature. Let's make it floating. Floating. There we go. So now we fit it in here close to the thermometer. Of course, I would need to fix that name right here so it doesn't look as strange as it is looking right now, but this is how you build your dashboard. So the other one that I have is looking way better. I'm going to show you guys right now how to uh, uh, see this one on the internet using your Tableau Public account because you don't save it locally. Let's go to Tableau Public and take a look at my dashboards that I have in there. I'm going to share the link in case you guys want to copy some of them. and take a look at what I already done on Tableau Public. So let's go. Let's sign in. Okay, so let's go to my profile. And here we go. This is my weather one that I'm working on. It's currently a work in progress. I just wanted to show you guys what I've done so far. Oh, I created also one of those. Perhaps I should show it on the video as well. After you upload it, click on show sheets because by default it would be like this and you can only see one sheet. Since mine's still a work in progress, I'm using show sheets. I usually like to show all of the sheets if you don't want shown in your profile. Um, if you don't want others downloading, I usually leave all mine open. So let's create as well the weather description one, which is pretty neat. Okay, so we have our sheet 7 in here. And we are going to start. Let's add a date time. Anywhere is good. As always, I want days only, so let's remove everything else. Then let's start adding our mark. So I want a description in here. Let's add a label. I don't need the days. Let's remove it. So there we go. The description. And I want the average temperature to be my size. So there we have it. If it doesn't go automatically, just select here your tree map. So let's change those to averages and average, measure average. Okay, the color, let's change it to temperature diverging, apply. And I want the labels as well of the temperature as an average, the average temperature for when we have each type. So let's add here, boom. Let's add the fuse like as an average. And let's add our wind speed as an average as well. So there we have it. I think this one looks actually better than, so rename weather description tree map. Let's apply some bold here. Centralized, I think it will look better. Yep. Let's add this one to our dashboard. Let's add on top of the scatter plot. Okay. Fit width. Okay, so this one fit image. Fit image. Okay. Now, what is up with this guy? I can't figure it out yet. But another thing that I want on this dashboard is dashboard actions. So this sheet, this workbook, add action, highlight. Okay, so I want to highlight them all across themselves. So let's add OK. So when I select it here, you can see that I selected here the day, and I'm still figuring out how I would show what type of weather was in that day, but that's what how you do it. So, but it shows here on the scatter plot. And if I select the day, today's date for the temperature, It's not going to associate here because we're talking about an average versus a fit. There we go. Fit width did the trick. I need to centralize this in the current temperature. Let's centralize this text. Um, Alignment center. Okay, let's see if it looks better. Dashboard. Yep. So you can add in here as well the, let's make this one. Let's try to do this. Looks better right now, right? So we can add here the current temperature, the current feels like, the current wind speed, and all the other one currents that you have. You just have to apply the same calculations as you did before. So what you are going to do to save it on Tableau Public, of course, the first step would be to create an account, file, save. It's going to either ask you to save locally, but to save it to Tableau Public, save to Tableau Public. And it's going to ask you for your sign in, your email, your credentials. You can sign with a Salesforce account, of course. So you sign in with your username and your password, and it's going to look something a little bit like so. This is the one that I was toying with, and you can go, let's go to my profile, and I can show you, you can create, you can actually create a demo of everything that you, a portfolio of everything that you've done and everything you can do using Tableau Public to show recruiters, to show teachers, to show other people, to create YouTube videos and share with your friends. I'm going to add the link to mine on the description. So there we go, guys. This is already a longer than usual video. This is how you create dashboards, and those are the tips and tricks about Tableau Public that I have so far. Of course, as soon as I do updates and I make this one look prettier, I will do a video and share everything that I did with you guys. And always remember, keep having fun with data. If you have any questions, you can leave it on the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video and if you want to do so. And if you want to participate, if you want to show a couple of tips and tricks, if you want to do a live section of us talking about data, let me know and I'll gladly open the channel space with you guys so we can do just that. So this is it for today. Hope you have a great one. Stay safe and bye.